Do 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 do. Oh, hey, oh, so, gee, who let you guys in here? Oh, hey, don't mind this. Yeah, it's a Kel-Tec P-3AT. It's not mine. I'm just cleaning it for a buddy. Yeah, you really weren't supposed to. That's not mine. Hey, I was just thinking while I was doing my buddy a favor and cleaning his gun. I was just thinking, you know, the seasons are changing, and I was thinking about, you know, what guns to carry concealed in the summertime. You know, your wardrobe changes, your situations change. Do we really think about, when we leave the house, what gun, what sidearm makes sense for a given situation? Boy, he sure got this thing dusty. It's almost like he carries it. There's lint everywhere. Huh. He must not have a real gun. That was my buddy, I mean. But, you know, I need your help on some things. You know, I normally carry the Glock 26, you know, when wardrobe and weather permit. And, you know, I was trying to make it work for summertime. I don't know. You guys tell me how you think it looks. I just don't think it's working. But you take a look and tell me what you think. What do you think? I'm thinking not. Yeah, I guess now that I watched the video, it's pretty obvious that's not working. I guess the shorts aren't quite a stable enough platform for that inside the waistband holster. Huh. Well, I got a couple other ideas. You know, I am kind of a revolver guy. Take a look at this and see what you think. Better? No. Well, aside from looking like a complete dweeb, I guess the Model 19 isn't very concealed wearing it in this configuration, is it? You know, come to think of it, if I'm going to go with something that's not concealed, you know, we can open carry here in Indiana. Tell me what you think of this next one. How about this? Perfect. Right. No. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Without the belt to anchor it, the Model 29 and the Dirty Harry holster just doesn't really work too well either, I must admit. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, let's sit and talk about it a little bit while I finish cleaning my buddy's Kel-Tec P-3AT. You know, these guns are they're really more like little toys, aren't they? I mean, you know, can the 380 even stop a man? I don't know. What kind of a self-respecting sheepdog would be caught dead with one of these little guys? I mean, you know, they're a 380, they're underpowered. Well, yeah, some of you might say, "Ah, that doesn't matter, it's summertime. You're not going to have to be boring through layers and layers of clothing." Okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. But what about reliability? You know, YouTube is replete with video evidence that Kel-Tecs cannot be trusted, isn't it? I mean, you can find as many videos as you want to look at that'll clearly demonstrate that the Kel-Tec P-3AT is not a gun to trust your life with. I mean, really. Huh, interesting. Interesting little piece here. You know, I really expected this to be kind of junky, but it appears to be a pretty fine little pistola. Let's see. Let's get a little. Well, guys, you might recognize by now that I'm playing with you. I'm kidding just a little bit. I can't tell a lie. This is my gun. This lowly Kel-Tec P-3AT is my gun. And after that ridiculous comedy of errors of oversized sidearms that don't lend themselves to summer carry for the armed citizen, here's what it should look like. Take a look. All right, let's quit playing around. Now we're talking. See, doesn't that make a little more sense? Let's talk about this gun. You know, back in the old days when I was a brand new YouTuber as RB Carnut, this was one of the first reviews I did. The Kel-Tec P-3AT. I believe what one of my mentors, and one of your mentors most likely, said early on, way back in 2008 when he did a test of this gun. I'm speaking, of course, of Nut and Fancy. He asked the question, what is the best concealed carry gun you can have? And the answer is, the gun you have on you. As you could see from that ridiculous footage up in the bedroom, there are a lot of guns when you're wearing shorts and a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt that just don't work. And if you really believe you shouldn't leave the house without your sidearm, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you what I've done, and I've done it in many iterations. Way back in 1998, I purchased one of the first Kel-Tec mouse guns, the P-32. Later on, when the gun was modified for use with the 380 chambering, I bought a P-3AT. This is my second one. I've also had two Kel-Tec PF9s for similar reasons in a larger caliber. And, you know, say what you want. And I know some of you have probably even have bad experiences, but this, well, I've had 5 Kel-Tec small pistols. With the exception of some inherent to the caliber rim locking issues in the P-32, I've never had a serious issue with a P-3AT or a PF9. I had, not on this P-3AT, but on the first one I owned, had a couple failures, which were failures to feed and break-in inside the first 100 rounds. My first Kel-Tec PF9 did have an issue with the extractor set screw working loose. That was evident after one trip to the range, and it required about half a cent's worth of blue Loctite to solve that problem forever. And this gun and my second PF9 have never had a failure, and we're talking, well, over 1,000 rounds between the two. Not guns that I shoot a lot. They're guns that I shoot enough to stay proficient with. Because let's face it, they're not built like Glocks. You know, a gun that weighs 11 ounces loaded is not going to be a gun you put 50,000 rounds through without wearing stuff out. That's not the purpose of the gun. The purpose of the gun is either as a backup to a larger sidearm or an only carry option. During warm weather, with clothes that don't permit bearing a heavier load or concealing a larger gun. I think this is an absolutely essential part of a concealed carry arsenal for the armed citizen. Now, I'm speaking of guns of the type, okay? And in the last 5 years, most of you gun guys know, there has been a rush from every corner of the gun manufacturing universe to compete with this gun. You know, make fun of Kel-Tec all you want, but there's a reason we have an LCP. There is a reason we have the Taurus TCP. There's a reason Smith & Wesson makes a small, lightweight polymer 380. There's a reason we have a Beretta Nano. There's a reason SIG resurrected the ridiculously unreliable Colt Mustang and tried to make it a viable pistol again. Which, by the way, if you like to surf YouTube for failures of mouse guns, I think you can find more malfunctioning SIG P-238s than you can Kel-Tec P-3ATs for double the money at least. The case I'm going to make in this video is that it is the original, at least in modern times, of the micro polymer super lightweight 380 concealed carry pistol. It was a design that was right the first time. It does everything you need it to. It has minimalist exterior features to allow it to be concealed and extracted without fail. It is accurate enough. It can be 100% reliable, and this gun right here in my hands is a testimony to that fact. It has no added marketing-based features to sell guns, but which hinder its operation. And it's extremely inexpensive. Yes, extremely inexpensive. And let's run down what I'm talking about there. If you notice, there's nothing on this gun. It is a double action only, long, smooth pull. There is no exterior battery of arms. There's a trigger. There's a mag release. That's it. There's no thumb safety. There's no ridiculous loaded chamber indicator. There are no big dot sights to get snagged. There is no slide stop slide release to get snagged on your holster as you're pulling the gun out. I mean, look at here. Here we have some piping, some finish material that has a lip down in the right inside the holster where the slide release would be. I've seen LCPs and Taurus TCPs that almost couldn't be pulled out of the holster because the material was snagged on the slide stop. What a gun like this needs to be is completely smooth. All it's going to be used for is drawn quickly at short range and used to stop a threat. That's it. The safety is in the index finger and the brain of the shooter. And that's the only safety we need in such a case. There's no laser. There's no nothing. It's a gun that you can hide easily, carry comfortably, point at a target, pull the trigger, it's going to go bang, it's going to stop the threat. It is Spartan in its appearance, almost well, it almost looks unfinished. Got parting lines in the plastic, and you know, even the stamping in the side of the gun looks more like a military stock number kind of a thing than anything that would be attractive to the retail buyer. It's kind of what I love about this gun. It makes no apologies for who it is and what it does. It just works. And you know, all you guys out there who are gun snobs, you just go right ahead with that, because let's face it, Kel-Tec has trouble satisfying demand. So the more of you that don't want them, the better that is for those of us who like them. If you're serious about your role as an armed citizen, as a civilian sheepdog, as a protector of yourself and your family and those near and dear to you in public where bad guys roam free, I would suggest you drop the pretense. Stop being a snob. Learn what makes these little pistols tick. Get yourself one. Get to know it. Practice with it. Break it in. Become confident in it. And carry it when you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And by the way, with a good quality inside the pocket holster like this Remora and some ammo, you can be rocking one of these for $300-ish. Less if you buy one on the secondary market. And it actually goes bang when you pull the trigger, unlike some others in its class. Just my little bit of friendly advice for the day. Go ahead and hate. I'll keep my P-3AT. And feel good about it. Grace and peace, guys. Have a great weekend.